Hello, historians. Miss Melton here to talk to you about Lincoln's Reconstruction plan. Why was Lincoln so important? Before he was assassinated at the end of the Civil War, he helped lead the Union to victory in the Civil War. He also helped to ensure slaves would be given their freedom by writing the Emancipation Proclamation. His plan had four major points. His point of his plan was to help rebuild the South, to join the Union and become one United States again. He did not believe in a severe punishment for the Southern Confederate Army or its officers. So this was his plan. First, Southern states had to free the slaves. Southern states had to disband their Confederate government, so they had written their own constitution and state governments. They had to get rid of those, write new ones that would go with the federal legislation and the Constitution of America, and 10% of the population would first have to pledge allegiance to the Union. After 10% of the population pledged allegiance and they wrote in their laws that the slaves were free, then they could rejoin the Union that is now the United States of America. Southern states had to form these new state governments, and no former leaders of the Confederacy or high-ranking officers could be part of this new government. So if they were a former leader in the Confederacy or they were an officer, they could not hold office or run for office in the new government. So that was Lincoln's plan. He did not want to punish severely the Confederate states because he knew how hard it was going to be for them to rebuild already because their land was totally devastated. Any money that they had was worthless. So that was his plan before he was assassinated, which we talked about at the end of our Civil War unit. Next, you'll learn about his vice president's plan, who became President Johnson.